Welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to empowering Christians to live a fulfilled life by integrating biblical principles with practical steps. Whether you're seeking to deepen your faith, enhance your physical health, or improve your overall well-being, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. I am so excited to be sharing with you for this very first episode. My name is Robert Bass, and this podcast is dedicated to empowering Christians to live a healthy life, to live a life that is fulfilled and purposeful and fruitful, because I believe God has designed our life to be this way. And we're going to be talking about this a lot over the next episodes, and I just want you to know that this is a journey. Living healthy is a journey. So a few things we're going to talk about in this first episode are podcast expectations, what you can expect in each episode. We're going to address some questions right off the bat that we'll see in future episodes. You're going to get to know a little bit about me and my personal story. And then we're going to wrap up with what you can expect at the end of each episode and next steps. So let's get started. What you can expect out of each podcast. So each episode is going to offer unique stories, unique biblical teachings, and unique next steps according to each topic that we're going to be covering. And these topics are helping answering the question, what does it mean to be healthy? How do we be healthy as a Christian? So you're going to hear stories and testimonies about my life, what I've seen other people overcome and accomplish. And you're going to leave with practical steps out of each episode to apply to your life right away. So you're not going to leave with just knowledge. You're going to leave with some practical steps to apply, to implement, and maybe even some blueprints for you to understand how to live a healthy life. So some questions that we're going to be answering in future episodes is, what does healthy mean? When we talk about being a healthy Christian, what does that even mean? And how does being a Christian have to do with being healthy and being healthy physically? Because I believe there is a tie and a connection between us being healthy spiritually and physically. And we'll be diving in to some of these questions and many more and helping you to see the bridge between being healthy and being a Christian. So I want to introduce myself, talk a little bit more about me, since I will be your host in every single podcast. I want you to get to know me a little bit better. So I am a pastor, author, speaker, and of course, podcaster. I'm a pastor in Florida, near Jacksonville, so near the top of Florida. I've been pastoring and at the same church at the time of this recording for about 8 years that I've been a pastor. And so I've pastored through COVID already. I've pastored through presidential elections, world changes, shutdowns, economic crisis. I've had the opportunity to pastor a church through all kinds of highs and lows. And so I'm thankful that God has entrusted me to lead different people through all of those seasons. And so that's a little bit about me as a pastor. I'm an author. I've actually written 3 books, and my latest one is called Hidden Fruit. It's about the fruit of the Holy Spirit. My first 2 were about your purpose and how to see your purpose in your past. But then the second book was about how do you see your purpose in your current journey that you're on. And so the first 2 are really testimonials, like things that I've been through in my life, personal stories that I've been through. So if you want to get to know even more about me, you can check out those books online. And I'm also a speaker. I speak regularly in our community. As a pastor, I get the opportunity to speak regularly, but I'm also active outside of the church because I believe as Christians, we should be showing the love of Jesus everywhere that we go. And so I have the opportunity to speak regularly at different community events and throughout our city and school boards and different community functions. And so I believe being very active in our community to make a difference in this world, because when we're healthy, we can help other people be healthy. And also, I really feel like as a podcast guest, I've been guesting on podcast for probably about a year and a half at the time of this recording. And I have been on so many different Christian podcasts, even some podcasts that have nothing to do about Christianity, but still sharing about Jesus and the power of living healthy. And being a guest on so many podcasts, I've learned so much. I've met some amazing hosts, got to meet and travel and meet some amazing people, even being a guest on podcasts all over the world. And this has created a drive for me to share more. And I feel like God has blessed me with the gift to share. And so I'm going to be using that gift to host and share with you even more. So this is going to be an opportunity and a podcast for you to follow along on a healthy journey. So I'm going to be sharing consistent videos with you every single week that you will be able to follow along with. And of course, you will also get to follow me on social media to see the other places that I am sharing on and those other opportunities. So that's a little bit about me. From that realm, a little more personal is I'm married, I have a wife, and I have a teenage son, and they're both amazing, and so thankful that God has blessed me with a wife and a son. And my wife is a nurse, and so she brings a lot of really good perspectives in the healthcare field that I get to learn from. But I also was a personal trainer, and I spent many years training people on how to get physically healthy. And then God transitioned me into ministry, helping people get spiritually healthy. So God has had me on a journey of connecting the physical and spiritual health of our life. And it's amazing the journey that God can have us on. I've gone through waves and levels of living healthy, sometimes not always eating or living the right way. And so I've learned, and I want you to learn from my stories and the journey that I've been on, because this is a journey. We're going to go on a journey together. And I'm really excited to hear about your story and your journey that you're going to be on and share with us. So I want to kind of wrap this up, this first episode, by saying we want to hear your stories. I want to know the journey that you're on. So I want you to engage in this podcast. A couple of different ways that you can engage in it is by following on social media and sharing. And I don't mean just sharing the podcast. I mean share what God is doing in your life. Share your health journey. You will never know the difference that your testimony can make in somebody's life. So I really want you to share. So you can subscribe to this podcast. You can follow me on social media. You can follow the Healthy Christian Podcast on social media on all the different platforms. But as we wrap up, I want you to leave with this, is you're in control of your success. That's right. I know we don't always like to hear that, but you are in control. So the amount that you put into this will determine your success. So it's not about just listening. You're going to have to apply practical steps. You're going to have to commit to things that may be uncomfortable. You're going to have to press in to receive all that God has for you. So I want you to know and leave right now that a healthy life is available, that God has designed a healthy life for you, and you can access it. So let's get started. Let's find out how to access and live a healthy life. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy Christian Podcast. Now it's your turn to put these principles we've discussed into action. We'd love to hear how they've impacted you. Please rate, review, and share the podcast with others. Join us on social media to continue the conversation and share your insights. Until next time, stay healthy.